How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. As usual, I am here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam. How you doing,
What's
bro?
up? What's going on with you? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, not so happy for me, bro. These Yankees are making me incredibly aggravated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You're going to tackle that one.
oh yeah, we're gonna speak on this. Some of the topics that we're gonna hit on today, very baseball centric show.
Yeah.
We're giving the NFL a little bit of a break. Going to be releasing our NFC South preview later this coming week. More than likely, either Thursday or Friday. Going to get our guy Brett on that show. Today's topic's hitting on Brittney Griner. Very serious situation going on in Russia. She was sentenced to 9 years in prison. And we're also going to hit on that other New York team, the New York Mets. As much as it pains me to say, they are really good right now, and they are looking like every bit of the team on paper that they could have and should have been.
Yeah.
And we're going to kind of speak on some of the happenings of MLB's trade deadline, and I guess you could say call it a first impression of
Right.
what these new teams are bringing. But we're going to start it off here. I know you're a big Brittney Griner fan, so I'm going to let you have at this first here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, as I spoke previously, we as Americans have to realize that we're not liked across the world. And especially with Russia coming off the 45 administration, we got to watch ourselves. And this is nothing towards 45 or anything like that. But we always know we know what Russia is. We know what they're about, and we know how they do business. They're shady, and I'll say these are my opinions. Just it doesn't represent the Richard Hitch Junior show, but we know how they are. Um, you have to be wary of what you're doing. As for the 9 year sentence, it was expected. People had mentioned how the one uh, lady last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, she got caught with, oh man, a lot.
I
And
believe she was a school teacher, right?
yeah, and she was released after 2 months. And I could see a little bit of the racial issue there. But then I saw who was president at the time. And that played a major role. And this is not saying that Biden's a bad president, but we know the dealings 45 had with Putin. So um, we just got to be smart. And with Brittney, like I said, her attitude, I think they held her. They holding her because it's something there. Not so much her, but it's just the tensions between America and Russia. I mean let's just put it out there. It's not so much that she had a vape pen. It's America and Russian relationships, and that doesn't absolve her for what she did because you got to be smart. Um, I mean, it's no secret. I smoke weed, but I'm not going to get on any plane to go anywhere, not even inside the country with nothing because you just don't want to get caught. And you don't want to be caught and get locked up abroad. So I think this is gonna make the trade between the arms dealer and Brittney Griner and the other man they have over there go through. I don't think it's an even trade because we're trading someone who basically had a small amount of THC compared to someone who was dealing arms.
Mm-hmm.
One's a threat, you know. And those who, and it's not in defense of Brittney Griner, but those who are saying, "Oh, she's a drug smuggler," da, 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 y'all need to just be quiet. We know why you guys are saying that. She is not a drug smuggler. She's someone who had low THC and crossed the, went over across the water coming back. So cut the nonsense, cut it out because this guy we got to trade to get her back is the real threat. But going forward with her, she needs to change her attitude. She need to be. I mean, America is America. I served, and my country pisses me off. It pisses everybody off. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know what? We get away with a lot of stuff you can't get away across the water. anywhere. So that being said, love where you live, because there are a lot of people who trying to get here. To get away from a lot of stuff. So
We ask our guy Zappy.
Mhm.
Texas is a huge state.
Yeah.
A lot of Mexicans, just to put it as an example, in their own right, are very oppressed, whether it be the cartels,
Right.
just the opportunity for a better life. And to touch on the Brittney Griner thing, in my eyes,
Mhm.
is it anti-American pandering politically? Of course it is. That goes without saying. To your point, yes, she has to be smarter. We have to be smarter when traveling abroad. And to the point about the whole drug smuggling comments that I'm sure you run into on different layers of social media, I think the best thing I could say in reference to this is that I know that a lot of people who don't care for her kneeling and for her being very outspoken, obviously are getting their laughs in that regard. But one thing that I want to bring to the table here is, if I was a professional athlete or somebody important enough to be on TV like that, yes, I would stand. But at the same time, I also understand why certain athletes have chosen to kneel. And, going back to that CK7 situation, and I'll be very frank, I have kind of loosened my stance on Colin Kaepernick, in the sense that I've done my own research and realized that even though there were certain things that he did that I didn't particularly care for.
Yeah, the socks.
The socks definitely struck a nerve with me, because I felt that when he was on that, he was painting regular cops as the shitbags who did some of their atrocities.
Right.
And I do believe that in any profession, whether it's a bad lawyer, a bad doctor, whatever have you, that can be just as dangerous, and it's about, compartmentalizing the difference.
Right.
But as far as this situation goes, it's a tough one, because you're talking about trading an arms dealer for a professional athlete. And that opens up a whole nother can of worms, where you could look at people that have been imprisoned for eons for marijuana charges.
Right.
This isn't heroin. This isn't crack cocaine.
Right.
These aren't opiates and shit like that. And it definitely opens up a can that we're doing this for a professional athlete, as if the professional athlete's life is more important than regular people that aren't on the national or global stage, for that matter. Part of the reason why Brittney Griner is out there is to make more money, which I understand, because the WNBA makes a fraction. I wouldn't call it a fraction, but they make considerably less than what the NBA makes. But this is interesting. And I believe you have said this in the past, whether it be on a social media post. Comedian Bill Burr made a great example. He made mention of, a lot of supporters, I'm going to use that term lightly, of the WNBA are complaining about the salaries. And while I do believe that it is unfair in that regard, because Brittney Griner, for her sex and what women do in that sport, should be recognized in terms of payment as the same as the LeBron Jameses and the great players of the NBA. But having said that, it's kind of like a moot point, because a lot of the women who are complaining about this are not buying the jerseys.
Nope.
They're not driving it. The NBA essentially put this league out to appeal to the masses. And quite frankly, you take a person like the late, great Kobe Bryant. We literally just missed a home run. Oh. You take a person like the late, great Kobe Bryant, and he put so much into women's sports. And I'm sure, having all those daughters influenced that. Of course, he didn't have any sons.
Right.
But it's like, if you're going to get crazy about, an injustice in terms of pay, you shouldn't be opening your yap if you're not willing to support them. My mother was a huge WNBA fan here in Orlando when they
Yeah.
previously had the Miracle. And Nikisha
Yeah.
Sales was her favorite ball player back then.
Right.
They've been out of the league for quite some time.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't recall the exact year the WNBA started, but I do know that Rebecca Lobo of UConn fame was like one of the front runners in terms of attempting to make her the face of the league.
Yeah.
She didn't have the same. Yeah, she got injured and she didn't have the same impact as she did collegiately. But to kind of put this in perspective, yes, I do think we're going to make a deal. I think there's a lot of lobbyists and a lot of other political reasoning behind this deal.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not a fair deal nor a straight deal.
No.
And I do believe that if we're going to allow this deal, people need to really get in, hone in, and say to themselves, are we going to re-examine some of the people that have been incarcerated doing hard time for petty shit? And I know there's a difference between moving weight and some of the other things. I understand that too. But, you know, if you're legalizing it around the board and kind of taking it out of the drug realm and the whole gateway shit, then I do believe that this is something that has to be re-examined with inmates, especially if the United States government is going to take it in the backside, so to speak, because we need to get one of our famous, very talented Americans back home.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm glad you said that. And I don't want to stay on this too long because we got a lot to talk about. But you're right because
we got time.
Oh, okay. Because you make a big point, a real great point, because she had a very small amount, and in the United States, every state hasn't legalized it.
That's correct as well.
We're making a deal to bring her home when technically, I mean, she broke the law. I mean, not she didn't mean to, but the letter of the law is you broke the law.
But you know as well as I do, and I'm sorry for interrupting you. Yeah, you know as well as I do.
Yeah,
that if this happened in a state that quote unquote wasn't as progressive as another state, this would be still a slap on the wrist.
Right.
Community service, doing stuff maybe with the Boys and Girls Club or something positive.
Right.
But they're not necessarily giving Idris or Richie that same leeway. Maybe not. But the point is, it's not as likely because we're not superstars. We don't play a professional game at that level. And at the end of the day, that is a big thing. And, you've mentioned on previous shows that there's 2 strikes against her already. A black woman in a communist country, a black woman who also happens to be a lesbian.
Right.
So there was 2 strikes off the rip.
Already.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So we just got to be more. We got to be more responsible when we go over there, because, like I said, I've been overseas a couple of times, and I'm just saying, Americans are arrogant overseas. We just feel so entitled and everything. It's like, yeah, I'm American. Like that shit don't fly, man. And we just got that attitude that we're the shit.
And there is a reason why people have such a disdain around the world for us, because of that cockiness,
right,
and that entitlement. I'm not calling all Americans that way.
Yeah, not all, nah.
But you don't get that perception around the world if there's not enough of us doing it. And I say us because we are all one and the same as Americans.
Right. So we'll see how this plays out. Alex, I hope they bring her home, and she has a lot of soul searching to do when she gets back home.
And I wish her the best, because I don't wish this on my worst enemy.
No,
I don't. But it's I hope it humbles her on the level to maybe say, you know what, it's. I was able to kneel, and I'm able to on any way of activism I want, because that is my God-given right. It's supposed to be here in this country.
Right.
But to your point, it's okay to be a little more humble about this.
Yeah, my final word on it is the women from that group that we don't want to mention the name of, if y'all really care, you guys will fill those seats. Fill those seats in the WNBA stadiums, coliseums, arenas, whatever. Don't blame it on anyone but yourself, because there are more women in the country than there are men. There's no reason why those seats are empty.
Indeed.
It's not our fault.
Indeed. I must second that.
Yeah, when she comes home, you guys fill that those stadiums, arenas, coliseums. and show your support. If you don't, this day forward, you have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, you can't pitch it like as the NBA and the top tier NBA stars around that oppression of the pockets, because the reality is the NBA gave them a league.
Right. And still supports them, still puts money in to keep it going.
Indeed. I mean, hell, they're even in the 2K games.
Yeah.
Even on the entertainment side of things, like Brett and I love to play 2K, and the WNBA squads are in 2K.
Yep.
And last thing, we keep saying last thing. I hope she's not getting abused out there.
Right.
I really mean that. And quite frankly, I don't care if I was a fan of hers, if I wasn't a fan of hers. At the end of the day, she's an American. Right. And I wholeheartedly hope that they are not abusing her out there.
Right.
And we're going to see where that goes. But I do believe that there will be a trade made and a lesson hopefully learned.
Yep. Here we go.
Our New York Yankees are in a season worst slump. 12-17 over their last 29, I believe 14-18 or 19 over whatever that adds to. The bottom line is they have been very bad pretty much since that 4-game set with Boston. Things kind of started spiraling out of control after splitting with the Red Sox, who at the time weren't beating anybody other than us. Embarrassing series loss to the Reds.
Yeah.
Go to the break, get swept in Houston. The Mets swept us out in Queens. In between that, right after that, rather, we had a decent series against Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
Right after scooping Andrew Benintendi. But right now, facing another series sweep. And there are a lot of reasons why things can go bad. For one, Giancarlo Stanton still nursing that sore Achilles. He should be back. If I had to take a guess, I'd say probably a week from today. Anthony Rizzo, currently not on any IL stint, but he's being rested. During the course of his career, has suffered with a lot of back ailments, and he's going through it right now. Right. Definitely another bat missed in that lineup. Andrew Benintendi, new Yankee. Definitely got to give him some rope. He's drawing his walks, but he hasn't quite hit his stride in the pinstripes just yet. And we did trade Joey Gallo, but we still have Aaron Hicks, and Aaron Hicks finally got a hit today after going 0 for 33.
Yeah.
Very controversial trade. We dealt Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
I'm not 100% sure as to why they did it, and not because I don't think it could be a good trade, because Bader brings an elite skill set in center field and also can move Judge out to right, which I think in the grand scheme of things is going to preserve Judge, especially if you're throwing the big money at him in the offseason.
Right.
But there's a lot of conflicting stories that we almost struck a deal for Lopez from the Marlins. And that deal fell through at the 11th hour, and I believe we probably already had agreed to the Montgomery deal. That could be part of that too. No way to truly prove it, because most, front offices are not going to let you become privy to that information.
Right.
Frankie Montez, a really good pitcher. The guy I wanted from spring training, currently down 6. Yeah, currently down 6-4. First start of the season.
Yeah, rough outing. I mean,
with the Yanks. And it's to be expected when you have that much time off.
Think about it. And we're going against a tough St. Louis Cardinals team at Busch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's not like it's a walk in the park either. You coming in there starting, and you going against the Cardinals. It's first game. I think he'll regain it. He got roughed up, but he'll learn from this and be like, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and more so than the wins and losses, I was watching this. Michael Kay made mention of the fact that the Yankees have been outscoring their opponents considerably during this losing streak. But on the flip side of the first half of the season are losing close games. Game 1, Clay Holmes, the closer, another reason the Yankees are struggling. He hasn't been right.
I don't know what he's doing.
Trevino, who's the relief pitcher, was included in that deal. And quite frankly, if Holmes hits the bottom and suddenly can't get right, that opens up the door for another closing option. These were all moves to counter Michael King being injured for the year.
Right.
But at the end of it all, I try to keep it in perspective, and this is a very concerning slump. But when you coasted pretty much for 3 months,
yeah,
it's to be expected that you're going to hit a wall.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we wasn't going to go in that tear for 162 games. No way.
And to be honest, if they didn't have such a phenomenal record earlier in the year, where a lot of people were thinking that they did have a shot to catch the 98 Yankees for best overall record in franchise history, this slump probably wouldn't be as alarming.
Right.
From a karma standpoint, that Montgomery deal and the fact that he pitched a really great game against us yesterday, as did Domingo Germán against them. We lose 1-0.
Yeah.
It takes time for new faces to gel.
And I'm not. You know why I'm not concerned? I look at us. I look at the Astros, and we're good. We're good. It's just all these expectations were on us. We're going to catch the 98 Yankees. Judge is going to hit 61, 62 home runs. All this stuff was up. And if you take all that away and look at our record and what we've done, you say, damn, they're a good-ass team. We're a good team. We hit a wall. I mean, with the Astros, it's not to say what about. But if you think about the Astros, they're right behind us. And they've hit some walls in there too because they're right behind us. And they're a damn good team because they got our number. Even look at the Mets, and we'll talk about the Mets. They're right behind us. It's just their collapse has like been here, there. So where ours came at one time. So I'm not worried. I'm not too worried. Once Montez gets going and Holmes gets his arm, I think we're going to be okay. This is just that wall we hit, that slump we're in, that it was going to come. It was going to come. And we come out the break. We got the Mets. We got the Astros. Here we are at the Cardinals. So those are 3 good teams. Those are 3 good teams.
And the thing too, if the Astros didn't have our number,
right,
I don't necessarily think that their slumps or their little rough patches, they probably would be more documented.
Right.
But because of the fact that the headlines are always, and I'm even guilty of it because I'm speaking on it right now.
Yeah.
That the Yankees are mired in a rough patch.
Right.
The Yankees can't beat the Astros when it counts. Can't figure them out. Frankie Montez's last start before being a member of the New York Yankees was a victory against the Houston Astros.
The Astros.
And that was a big reason they acquired him.
I see the Yankees like the Cowboys and the Patriots in football. Nobody likes them.
Nobody
likes them. Just like the Lakers and LeBron.
Unless you're from there.
Right. No one likes them. So, I mean, the Yankees are always going to – it is not being a homer, but the Yankees will always be that team in baseball where people say, I can't stand them. I hate them.
And there's a reason why the pressure is that big. Like you take a dude like Joey Gallo a few years back, a Kevin Brown or a Sonny Gray, a Kayagawa, other pitchers, Hideki Arabu, guys that just didn't pan out.
Right.
It is a different kind of pressure. And, it's like anything else. Yes, there is an East Coast bias. And yes, they get celebrated more when things are right. But I think it's just because of the price that you have to pay when dealing with the media out there, that you live under a microscope. There's a lot of variables to being a New York sports athlete.
Right. You have to win.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the ultimate.
Nothing but winning. You are, if you're a Yankee, you are expected to win.
That is the ultimate antidote when you talk about, how to get by in New York and to not be a victim of the whirlwind. And yes, at the end of it all, you have to win. And one thing about it is consistently win, because we've seen it. Yep. Joe Torre was let go of by the Yankees after winning 4 world championships and appearing in 6 of them.
Right.
Tom Coughlin was let go by the New York Giants after beating the best team of that era twice on the grand stage.
Joe Girardi.
1-1 in 2009. got the Baby Bombers a game away from the World Series, and they were kind of done with his act.
Yeah.
But you see, Girardi also lost his job in Philly, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
You know,
yeah,
not an easy job. And when guys lose managerial jobs, it's not that they woke up one day and forgot how to manage. It's just that sometimes a new voice is needed. Because at that level, all those guys know the game. There's no denying that.
Right.
And we'll talk about a guy here, Buck Showalter. Another guy that has always been on the wrong side of things. But he's got the New York Mets looking the part. You know, they weathered the storm of missing Max Scherzer for the better part of 2 months.
And Jacob
deGrom as well. One thing I gotta say, you can make the case at this point that Edwin Diaz may very well be the best closer currently in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Yep.
The moves that they made, while not being the flashiest, because I'll be honest, I thought the Mets were going to be more busy than the Yankees. I was wrong on that.
I did too.
Who they acquired, they fit the team and they fit what they're doing. You know, Francisco Lindor in year 2, very comfortable now in New York. Year 1 was a bit of a nightmare for him. Jacob deGrom coming back at that midway point, it's almost like a free agent addition.
Right. I think, anyone knows who's been watching the show from the start, I've been trashing the Mets. Like, the Mets are going to wind up being the Mets. We know how it all ends. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, yeah, there's someone to worry about. There's some their team work. Because Buck Showalter, although he hasn't won a World Series, he is known for putting teams together, building them up from the ashes, and making them a contender. He just could never get over the championship wall.
Or he'll get let go before it happens. Because that's happened to him too. Because in New York, he didn't get along with the boss.
No.
You know, and a lot of people, and I'm one of those people, who think that on some levels he may have been a better manager than Joe Torre.
He put that team together, man. He taught that team how to win.
Gene Stick Michael also very responsible, as well as Watson.
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah. During the Steinbrenner suspension,
people forget about Gene Michael.
Yeah, Gene and it's Michael, crazy. He was big.
Yeah, he put it together, man. The Mets are going to be tough. I thought that the Braves would catch them, but it looked like the Mets are pulling away. I think they're like 6, 7, 8 games up or something like that.
Not even that far up just yet. But the thing is, being that they're playing them head up now.
Yeah.
They're sending that message. And I've seen enough of it to tell you this. The Braves are not better than the Mets.
No, they're not.
You know, in my opinion, this team that we're playing right now has championship pedigree.
I knew they would. And you know what? The thing about it, when the trade deadline came, I kept saying, I was like, watch out for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I said, they're gonna I said, when Milwaukee just mortgaged their season.
I couldn't believe that. That was a terrible.
You know a hater. I said the Cardinals are going to catch them now. It's over now, and boom, they flipped. I would say it's over for them. The Brewers just said, you know what? Oh well.
And even if they still sneak in as one of those wild cards, they basically gave up their biggest advantage on whoever they play. Yeah.
And so you got the Pods in the West, man, wild card. You know, and then next thing you got the Braves. The Braves, they're struggling, but who knows? They might get that other wild card.
Benintendi just hit a ground rule double.
Okay, good.
Nobody out, and he was the leadoff man for the 5th. And Wainwright, I think they're going to pull him now. He's hovering around 110 pitches.
Ooh. Is what, the 5th inning?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, this has been a weird one. This is like arena baseball.
I need to get the game on.
Yeah, I had to kill the volume on it, but
I
saw it from like the peripheral. I saw that ball. I thought he had a chance to leave the yard.
I got to get the game on. But you know, Mets fans, I owe you guys an apology. I thought by June you guys would be like, season's over. Then July, season's over. But they retooled. I'm not even gonna say retooled. They just add some more tools to the chest.
Yeah.
And they're ready for the stretch run.
Yeah, Pete Alonso at this point, you got to give him his due, like him or not.
Yeah.
The guy's a bona fide superstar.
Yeah.
He is the face of that organization right now.
Yeah.
And I would say the tough guy on the team is Max Scherzer, because when he first came over, he basically called it out and said, we're the team now. And we're going to be the team now. And whether it's true or not, guys want to hear that when you're coming in, that you're all the way in.
And you know what, Buck is that type of manager who's like, look, this is what we got to do. We're going to do it this way.
Very business-like.
Yeah.
And he is the anti-analytic, as I've alluded to on other shows.
He's old school.
But one thing with Buck, he's going to take some suggestions, because he's one thing that I think he's changed about his stature and style is that he's more accepting of other people's ideas now.
Yeah.
Because you ask people around the organization, particularly when he was with the Yanks, even going back to his Baltimore days.
Yeah.
That he was very standoffish if it wasn't his way. And I think part of sticking around as things evolve is, you got to make some of those adjustments.
Yeah, with the Orioles, it was a disaster there. I mean, they lost 115 games. They're like, yeah, you got to go.
Yeah, he had the beginning was good.
Yeah.
And he is the last manager that brought them to the playoffs. I mean, the Orioles managerial issues weren't nearly as much as organizational issues. They had their fair share.
They look good this year, though.
They're on the right path.
They're on the right path, yeah.
They are indeed on the right path.
The funny thing that the AL East, other than Boston, everyone's above 500.
And Boston's not really that far out of 500 either, even though
they I think 1 or 2 games
are clearly the worst team in the division.
Yeah.
And kind of like some impressions that I've seen, and this is a very short sample size because there is a lot of time left in the year. I got to give our guy Jordan Montgomery some credit. I know it was emotionally fueled. This is a guy who pitched. That was his 20th start of the year. Got his 4th win. Yeah. His first as a Cardinal. To his defense, he didn't always get the best run support.
Right.
But I think his undoing, or at least in the eyes of the Yankees, was when he got lit up in Citi Field.
Yeah.
In that Met game, after we put up a 2 spot on the board, Rizzo and Judge going back to back. And then you get that next inning where they put up a 4 spot. Montgomery was a good Yankee, and it's always tough when you give up on guys within the organization. Yeah. If it were up to me, I would have rather traded Tyone, but I do tend to believe that. Oh, by the way, it's first and second now. I do tend to believe that the reason that happened was because the Cardinals wanted to get who they got also, and maybe there was some merit that the Yankees were close to striking that deal with the Marlins, and it might have fell through.
But I'm glad for him because he didn't get traded to a bottom team. He still has a chance to.
Second most championships in baseball behind the Yankees.
Yeah, and it's with a good team, a team that's going to contend. So I mean, I'm happy for him. It's like with Joey Gallo. He didn't work out in New York, but he's with the Dodgers. So he didn't go to a basement team. He can say, okay, I still have a chance to win one.
Yeah, Dodgers have always been in the mix, even going back to when they had Torrey and then the transition to Mattingly.
Yeah.
And now their current manager. The Dodgers have been relevant for pretty much the better part of the last 12 to 15 years.
Good organization. They got everything lined up.
And they got the money to do it. They spend money, whether it's responsible or irresponsible, kind of like the way the boss did back in his heyday, 70s and 80s, early 90s, where he would just throw that money. Yeah. But, there's a couple of ways to look at it, because sometimes you look at the Los Angeles Angels. Yeah. Throwing money around isn't always the antidote to everything. You have to be able to cultivate talent.
Yeah. This trade, this was a real good trade, period. This season, it was some of these trades, I was like, wow.
It was madness.
It was crazy. I mean,
the Soto deal with him going to the Padres.
Wow. The Padres, they
instantly, you have to talk about them now because Tatis is going to be back very, very soon now.
Yeah.
You got Manny Machado, who's like somehow under the radar, like nobody's speaking about him.
Then you bring in Soto.
And let me tell you something. This Cardinals team, I keep reiterating that with it being likely the last year for their big three, I have a funny feeling they're going to be a very tough out in the playoffs.
I believe so.
New York Mets got that 1-2.
Yeah.
Scherzer and DeGrom, who essentially can in October can line up with damn near anybody.
Yeah, DeGrom shut you down.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I've
down.
said this on record. If he's healthy, he's the best pitcher in baseball.
Like a couple of years ago, he had a losing record, but his ERA was
no run support.
Yeah, his ERA was like 1.0. I mean,
0.
I mean,
yeah, under a run, and it was pretty pathetic.
Yeah, no run support.
And his issue was staying healthy. But now, coming into the year in the second half, just based on numbers alone, you gotta kind of like, the possibility of this dude being okay.
Right, because he'll pitch maybe, but they have like 50-something games. He's not going to pitch, but I don't know. 15 games, 10 games. Not that many games. So, I mean, he's going to be fresh.
Yeah, six weeks ago, if somebody would have asked me who I think's going to the World Series, I would have said that the Yankees and the Dodgers are shooing.
Yeah.
Now I can't necessarily say that because you have a team out in Seattle who could compete.
Yeah.
You have the Astros who they have the pedigree. They've been there.
It's going to be a hell of a series.
My worst nightmare would be a World Series featuring the Mets and the Astros.
Man, if the Mets win it, I love it for New York, but I would hate it.
We got them loaded. Nobody out.
Oh, come on. Let's go. I need to get the game on. I mean, God, because in the East, you got the Yankees. The Rays and Jays are trying to make a run.
Kevin Cash is such a damn good manager that, I said, I've said this on previous shows that the certain metrics of the Rays don't line up with previous teams that have been real good, like the consistent errors.
Right.
The Yankees, even though they've added like outfielders and crap, Aaron Hicks still got to go.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if they're going to try to get Benintendi short-term deal. And a lot of people are pissed about this Bader thing. I think Bader takes over as your everyday center fielder. And when you can get an elite center fielder, I don't know why all these people in the fan base are losing their shit. This move wasn't based on 8 weeks remaining in the season. This was a big picture move.
Our fan
Clark
base
Schmidt in the minors who could be a starter next year.
Our fan base are like some of the Giants fans. We weren't even supposed to be this good this year.
Hell no. Most people had us finishing third or fourth.
Because we got rid of Voit, Frazier. I mean, I like Voit. I was kind of surprised.
Speaking of Voit, he got moved again.
Did he?
Because of the Soto deal.
I didn't know that.
They wanted to trade Eric Hosmer. Yeah. Eric Hosmer had a no-trade clause to the Washington Nationals.
Oh.
So the next man in line to trade was Voit. So Voit essentially got dealt because of Eric Hosmer, but how could I blame Eric Hosmer for not wanting to go to Washington?
So Voit is in Washington.
Yes, sir. Oh. He was the last holdup on that deal that went through because
I did not know that.
Zappy made mention of it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it wasn't on the show because I
didn't know.
It was in the conversation.
Wow.
Come to think of it, I was riding into work and Zappy had made mention of that, and I was like, oh damn. But
I did not know that. Wow.
The Christian, like we've spoken on this. The Christian Vasquez move is massive because they already have excellent pitching, and now you're adding a catcher who could deal with all the personalities on that team.
Right.
Because similar to I said on a previous show, how the backup quarterback is an extension of your head coach. Well, the catcher is an extension of your manager.
Yeah, I always say the catcher is he's the man on the field. He's
absolutely.
Like, this we're gonna do it this way, y'all. He sees everything. I mean,
and it's no coincidence that most former catchers become excellent managers.
Because he's gonna tell a pitcher, "Yo, you good?"
Look at our last two world champion managers, Torrey and Girardi, both former catchers.
And look who our catcher was. Oh God, I can't think it was there. I got his face right in my head too. What is that big head guy's name? I can't think of our catcher during the championships. Well, I forgot the name.
Oh, you talking about Jorge?
Yeah.
Jorge Posada?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a throwback, bro. No batting gloves. That was a throwback.
I love me some Jorge, man. Jorge.
Yeah. Switch hitter. Another guy in limped to the finish line in 2009. He wasn't able to consistently catch. That's why we brought in Jose Molina to help out.
Yeah.
I believe was Cervelli on that team. I got to double check that. I don't recall if Cervelli was on that team off the top of my brain. Oh boy, Marwin Gonzalez, 3-2, called out on strikes.
So it's 1 out.
1 out, and we
Still
got him
loaded?
loaded.
Okay, good.
So we need base hit ties this game.
This a base hit. That's what we need.
Oh, and that not for nothing.
Yeah. Who's coming up?
Borderline at best, but Molina did a good job of framing that.
Who's coming up?
Let me see. I believe Marwin is. Yeah, we're back at the top of the order.
Okay.
And we got Judge on deck.
Let's put it in play.
We cannot afford
Just put it in play.
We cannot afford a sharp grounder in the infield because LeMahieu can't run.
No.
We need something.
I like to go right over third.
Yeah, with something in that outfield. Something needs
Right
to
over
hit in
third.
that outfield. Strike one.
Right over third baseline. That's going to bring second and third home. Boom.
2 for 3 on the day with 2 doubles.
Ooh, 2 doubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've left some runners on base. We had an opportunity to bust this thing open early.
We got to win today. We can't go home.
Before we get out of here, I want to make a mention.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, we've been reeling off these football shows and having a great time doing it.
I love the baseball though.
I love it more when our team is playing a little better.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm getting a lot of anxiety with this team, and it's 0-2 on LeMahieu.
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely not. But, this is a guy that's comfortable with 2 strikes. I keep cutting my own self off to see what happens here.
Oh, you're straight. Yeah, I don't have the game. I don't know why I didn't have the game.
Struck him out off speed.
Okay, we got the Judge coming up.
Yeah, we need a damn hit here. Yeah, but doing these NFL shows have been really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And coming into the season, we're going to be doing a lot of like your Sunday previews. Going to be highlighting the 5 or 6 best games. Just giving you a spoiler alert: the Cowboys and Giants are always going to be included in our because of the fact that Zappy's going to be with us, and obviously Idris and I are Giant fans. But outside of those 2 teams, always highlighting whatever games should be the best. And we're going to be doing the Monday morning rollout on the happenings of everything going on in the NFL. And we're going to be going live, whether it be Thursday or Friday. We'll let you guys know. That's going to be a big division to break down the South because of the fact that Tampa Bay has reloaded. And it'll be interesting to see what they can do now with the addition of Julio Jones, 2-0 on Judge. He should be able to get a pitch he could drive here, hopefully. But yeah, very exciting time in the world of sports.
Yeah, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, only going to get better. I'm going to hang here just for a moment, let you guys know what Aaron Judge is up to here.
I'm ready to rise.
Wait a minute. He got it. Did he? Oh, he just missed the grand slam. He tied it. Get down. Yes, sir.
Off the wall?
Like he missed it by about 1.5 feet.
But it went off the wall.
Dead center. It kind of died right before the wall.
Okay.
It was over the center field to center.
It was a base hit,
Oh, it certainly was. It was almost a slam. He did not miss that by much.
Dang. If that was Yankee Stadium, it'd have been gone.
Still a deep center field, but yeah, let me see. What is the foot? What's the foot?
It's deep center. Okay. I thought it was like over the left and right wall.
He hit that like. Let me see. Actually, no, in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, I thought it was
he
left
would have
to right.
had about another 11 feet.
Yeah, I thought it was left to right. That's what I was thinking about the short porch.
400 to dead center in Bush, and that was about 398.
Oh, it went over to left or right then.
Oh, no question. 2 times.
That was like 5th row.
Yeah, Brett's got some speed still. He's been considering, getting back in shape and maybe trying out for the Yanks because Brett feels that he can still pull the ball.
Okay.
I think all he'll do is pull a muscle, but
yeah.
Nonetheless, until next time.
Yep.
I'm the distracted Richie Hicks Jr.
I'm the self-distracted Idris Salam.
Cardinals 6, Yankees 6. Both teams missing the point after attempt. It's the 5th inning. I'm probably going to listen to this on the way out because I was actually
good segue to the NFL.
Yeah, man. I'm going to be meeting. I'm going to be meeting up with Brett at his house today.
All right.
Aaron Boone has just left the dugout. He's about to get his ass tossed.
Oh, this
Let's turn this around.
Uh-oh. Come on, Booney. Don't get – I'd rather Boone get tossed because that'll motivate the team even more.
One would hope.
Yeah. Booney out there like, damn it. He's booing him too.
Wow, he's giving him a lot of rope. He hasn't tossed him yet.
Yeah.
Kick some dirt on him, Boone. Make it official.
Yeah. Give him the
whoa.
time of the sorter.
You didn't ask him what he's doing for dinner.
Give him time of the
mad, bro.
He said he used to always kick dirt. No,
big mad. I gotta give that umpire some props though. But I will say this: he missed some calls earlier in the game on that didn't go Adam Wainwright's favor. This ump has been all over the place.
Booty said, "No, wait a minute, hold up. Uh-oh, look at it. Oh, it's the replay.
He did toss him. He tossed him before he left the dugout.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Come on, wake up, Yanks.
Oh,
we're gonna, you know what? We're gonna let this ride for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna get my headphones off here.
After we turn off, I'm gonna switch the game.
I'm gonna kill that big light. It's giving the glare.
See, viewers.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
He just missed that.
Just missed it. See, fans of the Richie Hicks Jr. Show, this is what we do. Come on, Matty. Oh, man, he just missed that. He was a good pickup, man.
I don't think anybody expected what we've been getting out of this guy.
Nah, we got him literally off the couch.
Because, a lot of people were making fun of how Didi's more than likely finished, but you never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes a new situation gives you a second lease on your career, but he's always been a good hitter.
Yeah.
But this team, the Cardinals, did indeed give up on him.
Looking like Catfish Hunter with the mustache. Oh, man, got him.
Good pitch.
Frozen pizza. Dang. Oh, that's right down the pipe. Yeah, he knows it, too. That was right down the pipe.
Yeah, he froze him.
Yeah, that was right down the pipe. Wow.
Idris, good job as always.
Always, man.
Next time we are out.
Yep.
This wasn't necessarily our best, but we had a good time with it.
Hey, it was a free fall, man. We did what we do.
It was hard for me to completely hone in.
Yeah.
And not show my smug mug because these Yankees have been pissing me off lately.
Fans, but we got bonus time. You got to watch the game.
So
who else does that?
You'll be joining us Thursday/Friday night, right?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff, man. Idris, I appreciate it, bro. And I'll be at Brett's house. So if you want to give this man a call later, talk a little smack to him.
Oh yeah, you know that. That's
yes,
my
sir.
bitch, man. Oh, yeah. Hey, man.
On, Idris. As always, I appreciate everything you do for my show.
All right, man. Just hit me up, man.
We're going to be looking for a 4-man panel. We're going to try to get Zappy on that as well.
Okay, then. All right, then. Later on, dude.
Peace. Be good, guys.
I don't know. Richie Hicks Jr. Show. We out.
Yes, sir.